So I'm going to give you 10 rules for, well, I don't even like the word rules. Let's make it guidelines or suggestions to help you have the best time possible on your bike. So ever since Al Gore invented the internet, the world has just been getting closer and closer and smaller and smaller. And so there's this social media group called Cyclists Over 60 or something like that. So one day I was on Facebook and I was looking at that group, and yes, I am old enough to be in that group. I am over 60. As a matter of fact, I am now eligible for FDR's Ponzi scheme. I am eligible to start getting back a small portion of the money that the government has forcibly confiscated from me over all these years. Aren't we lucky? So I'm looking at this social media group for cyclists over 60, and there was a guy that had come up with 10 rules for cycling. 10 rules for cyclists. Now, I didn't like his rules, so I came up with my own list. But first, before I share my list, we're going to look back at his list. Number 10 on his list said, ride. It's the best way to get better. Okay, yeah. Number 9 said, always carry a spare tube. And I learned that the hard way. Had a flat tire on one of my videos a little while back, and you guys roasted me in the comments. And so, yeah, I guess I have to go along with that one. Number 8 on his list was clean your bike. And yes, you should, if your bike gets dirty, you should give it a sponge bath every once in a while. I have done that before, and it was fun for me. My bike enjoyed it. Number 7 on his list said, relax your face, hands, and jaw. That has to be like a rule. Like, you have to tell people that? Like, what does this guy do? Just ride his bike going around like, clenched jaw riding? Is that a thing? I don't know. Okay, yeah. Ride more relaxed. I think you definitely should ride your bike relaxed. Number 6 on his list said, work your core. I don't even know what that means. Number 5 on his list said, be patient. True fitness takes time. Well, yeah, if fitness is your goal, and I guess it should be, maybe, I don't know. I'm into fitness. Fitness whole pizza in my mouth. Number 4 on his list said, don't wear cycling shorts anywhere but on the bike. Okay, how about don't wear cycling shorts? But okay, yeah. If you're gonna wear cycling shorts, only wear them on the bike. You wouldn't wear them to church or to work or to your grandbaby's birthday party. Number 3 on his list said, ride hard, but not every day. Ride hard? Why you want to ride hard? What does that even mean? His number 2 said, use your shifters a lot. Well, if by that he means, change gears when it's appropriate to do so, then okay. And his number 1 rule, number 1, was go hard on climbs. What? So I started thinking, yeah, I can agree with a lot of things on that list, but that would not be my top 10 rules for cycling. So I decided to come up with my own. But then I got to thinking, there's actually, the way I see it, there's like 5 different types of cyclists out there. First of all, you got your athletes, your athletic cyclists. And I think that's the kind of cyclist that this guy was, or is. An athlete. You're always trying to do better, beat your time from yesterday, and get out of my way, you mothers with strollers and you people walking your fur babies. Get out of my way because I'm coming through and I'm going fast and I'm wearing spandex. Dang it. And that's fine. If that's your thing, then absolutely, carry that cycling computer on board and pay attention to your distance and how many calories you burned and how many, I don't know, whatever. Some people really that's the way they have fun. That is fun to them, the athletic cyclist. The second type of cyclist that I've identified would be the commuter cyclist. Now, the commuter, he commutes. They tend to live in large cities and they use their bike to get from point A to point B. They ride their bike to work or to the grocery store or to the drugstore. There's a guy where I work. He's got an e-bike that is roughly the size of a small station wagon. And he literally takes his kids to school on that bike, drops the kids off, and then rides the bike on in to work. A lot of these commuter cyclists have an ideology that comes into play, and they're concerned about the environment, and they think that cars basically should go away and that bicycles can and should replace cars. And so they just commute all over the place. They just commute, mute, here, there, and everywhere. The third type of cyclist that I would like to point out to you would be the bike packer. These are people that ride long distances and they carry tents and crap and usually video gear as well, with them, and they just spend the night wherever along the way. They might ride a 100-mile trail somewhere, and they just find places to pull over and sleep whenever it's convenient. They might string a hammock up between two trees or just set up a tent on top of a picnic table. I've seen these guys do, and girls, do all kinds of stuff. And I low-key envy them, and I would like, when I grow up, I would like to be one of them. I'd like to be like them, but so far, I just haven't had the courage. You will find me at the Comfort Inn when I'm on bike trips. But yeah, bike packers. Now, there's also something called bike touring. Is bike touring and bike packing the same thing? Because it seems like it might be. And also, if you're going bike touring, does that make you a bike tourist? I don't know. I have a few questions. How is bike touring different from bike packing? If you know, and if there is a difference, let me know in the comments below. The fourth category of cyclists I would like to mention are these e-biking couples. Now, sure, you will find random single men or women on e-bikes, but a lot of times on YouTube, at least, it tends to be couples, usually couples of a certain age. And they just zip around on their little e-bikes, and they're so cute together, and they have witty banter. They love each other so much, they take passive-aggressive digs at each other. They think we don't notice, but we do. Usually her bike is white and his is black, or maybe hers is pink, and they have matching helmets where they can talk to each other through Bluetooth, and it's just so wonderful. Low-key, I'm jealous of these people. Did I say that out loud? Maybe I'll be in one of those e-biking couples one day. I don't know. Stranger things have happened. The last type of cyclist I want to mention is me. I am what I call a recreational cyclist. I go on bike trail trips, day trips, sometimes weekend trips. Never have been on a week-long trip yet, but not opposed to that. But I stay in hotels, motels, and I ride greenways, river walks, and rail trails. And I just enjoy the beauty of God's creation at about 7.45 miles per hour. I may every once in a while go crazy and get up to about 12 or 13 miles per hour, but yeah. So I decided, hey, I need to come up with my own list of rules for cyclists. 10 rules for cyclists like me. Hey, wait just a minute. I'll be right back. There, I fixed it. Rule number 10 on my list is let people know when you're passing them. It's just the courteous thing to do. People just need to know that you're coming up behind them. Now, the two primary ways to do this are to either say verbally on your left, which I do that. I don't like to do it because politically I'm somewhere to the right of Ben Shapiro, so it pains me greatly to say the words "on your left," but I still do it. You can also ring a bell. Your bike should have a bell. You can ring the bell or you can say "on your left." Now, a lot of people will simply smile. They'll acknowledge you with a wave. They'll say thank you, good morning, whatever. Occasionally, well, more than occasionally, this happens a lot more often than you would think. You're trying to be nice, you say "on your left" or you ring your bell, and it actually ends up frightening the person as you pass them. You say "on your left," and they're like, ugh. I always have to laugh a little bit. Number 9 on my list is be prepared. And I've learned this the hard way. Go to the bathroom before you start your ride. Learn how to change a flat tire. Have the tools with you. Have water with you on your bike before you ever get going. There may be no restrooms, there may be no water on the trail you're going to. And so now, have we all ended up relieving ourselves in the bushes? Or, park your car in such a way that you open 2 doors and stand there and pee in between the doors in a public parking lot? I mean, not that I would ever do that, but you probably have. But don't be in that situation. Go to the bathroom before you ever get going. Make sure you've got water on the bike. Make sure you can change a flat tire or work on the chain or whatever. Take a multi-tool, all that stuff. Just be prepared. This stuff that I'm talking about right now is not the fun or sexy part of riding a bike, but it does come into play now and then. Number 8 on my list, go slow around old people, children, moms with strollers, and people with pets. In other words, just share the trail. Pets and children can be exceedingly unpredictable. Got to watch out for them. But that's going to hurt my time and I might not break my record from last week. Oh my gosh. Who cares? Slow down, especially around dogs and the very old and the very young. Number 7 on my list is wear a helmet if you want to. One day I'm going to do a whole video about this topic. The YouTube analytics tell me that my audience is mostly over 55, mostly over 65, and mostly male. So you guys, you're adults. You don't need me to tell you what to do. It's none of my business. Wear a helmet if you want to. And don't wear a helmet if you don't want to. Again, I feel a full-length video coming on someday on this topic, and that's when I'm going to get canceled. Number 6, dress like a normal person if you want to. You don't have to wear a cycling costume. You don't have to dress like you're a pro cyclist if you're not. I'm sorry, I just find it silly, the jerseys and the shorts and the shoes, when you know you're just a guy that works at a bank or a garage or, and you're riding on the weekend for fun, but you're dressing like you think you're George Hincapie or Lance Armstrong. Why? I got a comment from a viewer one time, a long time ago, that said, finally, someone who dresses like a real person, just like an average person. I just wear what's comfortable for me. I don't wear a cycling uniform. Number 5 on my list is take your time. Don't have a lot to say about that. I do not carry a cycling computer on my bike, so I do not keep track of distance. I do not keep track of time. I do not know how many miles per hour I'm going. None of that stuff matters to me. And if I was focused on all of that, I think it would actually hurt my enjoyment of cycling. Maybe you're different, and that's okay. Again, these are not really rules. They're more like suggestions, friendly suggestions. Number 4 on my list is explore your world. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Get out there and explore. Channel your inner explorer. Activate the exploration side of your brain. And I live just steps away from a pretty lengthy rail trail, and I don't ride it very often because I'd rather go somewhere and explore some new place, some place that I haven't been to yet. I don't know, Can you relate to that? Anybody else, or is it just me? So yeah, I love exploring new sites, seeing new places, having new experiences. It's what makes it fun for me. Number 3 on my list is listen. Listen to nature, not to Spotify. Listen to the water, listen to the birds. There's something tremendously de-stressing, I think, about getting outside and exploring the world around you. Yes, feeling the wind and feeling the sun on your skin, but also listening, hearing the sounds of nature, hearing the sound that babbling brook makes alongside the trail, hearing the birds as they call out to each other, and who knows, maybe they're warning each other about you. I don't know, and me. I don't know. I don't know how to interpret bird language, but I enjoy listening to it. There's also a safety issue at play because they say that if you're listening to loud music with earbuds or podcasts or whatever, that you're less aware of your surroundings and could end up hitting somebody or. So y'all be careful out there, you hear? Number 2 on my list, to the surprise of no one, is take pictures and shoot video. Now, I have to shoot video because I have a YouTube channel and I need new content, you know what I'm saying? But even before I started shooting video, I would take tons of pictures, tons and tons of pictures. And then I would even turn those pictures into magnets. There's lots of companies on Al Gore's internet where you can send your pictures to them and they will turn it into a magnet and send it back to you, and you can put it on your refrigerator and be like, oh man, remember that time we rode the Silver Comet Trail? Man, those were good times, good times. Yeah. Take pictures, shoot video, get off your bike every once in a while, go slow enough that you can experience the trail and also create some memories for later. And the number 1 thing on my list, find some joy in the journey. In other words, enjoy the ride. And I think if you follow rules 2 through 10, you will find some joy in the journey. You will enjoy the day, enjoy the ride. You won't have a choice. So I know this has been a little different, not typically what we do on this channel, but there you go. My 10 rules or suggestions for recreational cyclists. See you out on the trail.